You will never know how powerful you are until you're tested by moments that ask for more than you think you have. When that moment comes, it won't announce itself with fireworks or fanfare. It will come quietly. Wrapped in exhaustion, in fear, in a choice you almost let slip by. That's when you must dig deeper. That's when you remind yourself that you were not built for comfort. You were built for impact, and impact never comes easy. It's forged in silence, in early mornings and late nights, in tears that know one sees and prayers whispered when hope is running low. That's the cost of change. That's the price of becoming. But it's also where everything shifts. Because it's in that grind, that invisible struggle, where legacies are built, not on stages, not on screens, but in the places where no one claps, and you keep going anyway. That's the kind of strength that can't be taken. It can only be earned. And once you earn it, no one can unmake you. The truth is, you don't rise once. You rise again and again, every day, through every doubt, through every setback, through every voice in your head that says you can't. You rise. Not because it's easy, but because giving up would cost too much. Because deep down there's something in you that refuses to live a life halfway. It refuses to shrink to fit someone else's version of who you should be. That fire, that hunger, that ache inside to do something meaningful with your pain. It's real and it's sacred. You don't owe anyone a perfect version of yourself. You owe yourself the real one. The one who shows up even when it's messy. The one who's brave enough to start over. The one who keeps walking through storms while everyone else waits for clear skies. That's who you are. And that's enough. Asterisk, you will be misunderstood. You will be underestimated. People will project their own fears onto your vision. They will question your motives. They will doubt your ability. But that's not your burden. Your burden is to stay true, to stay focused, to keep your eyes locked on the reason you started. Because this isn't about proving anything to them. It's about fulfilling the promise you made to yourself. That promise you made in the quiet, the one no one heard, when you said, "I will not live a life that feels like a cage." That promise is your compass. If you hold to it, step by step, the world begins to shift around your movement. People will eventually see it, not because you told them, but because you showed them. Your life becomes the evidence. Your walk becomes the message. Not loud, not arrogant, just undeniable. Every time you choose growth over fear, something powerful happens inside you. You take back your voice. You reclaim your power. You become a builder of moments, of habits, of an identity that cannot be shaken. You stop waiting for someone else to validate you and start validating yourself through your own actions. And in that shift, you stop being a prisoner of your past and start becoming the architect of your future. The world will keep trying to distract you, to pull you back into comfort, into old patterns, into the safe zones that kept you small. But growth doesn't come with safety. It comes with sacrifice. You will lose old versions of yourself. You will outgrow people who can't handle your evolution. But that's the price of purpose. You must let go of what you were to become what you were born to be. And the craziest part? One day you'll look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. You'll remember how they doubted, how they hesitated, how they almost gave up, but you'll also remember that they didn't, that they rose anyway, that they dared anyway, that they took one brave step and then another, until what once looked impossible became the new normal. That's how change happens, not in giant leaps, but in relentless inches. One morning you wake up and you're not the same. You've got scars where excuses used to be. You've got strength where fear once ruled. And most of all, you've got momentum. Once you've got momentum, nothing can hold you back. Keep moving, even when it's dark. Especially when it's dark. Because the light you're looking for, it's not out there, it's inside you. And every step forward, every decision to keep going, fans that flame just a little more, till one day that fire lights the way. For someone else, they look at your story and say, because they didn't quit, I won't either. That's legacy. It's leadership. That's what it means to become the proof. Not perfect, not finished. Just real. Just faithful. Just brave enough to start and stubborn enough to finish. There's a moment in every life where everything stands still, where the noise fades, where the distractions fall silent, and the only voice left is the one inside your heart. The one whispering, "It's time." Not time to wait, not time to plan, time to move. One step. That's all it takes. Not 10. It's not a perfect roadmap. Just one brave step forward into the unknown. Most people never take it. They wait. They overthink. They tell themselves someday, but someday never comes, and their dream dies. While they're still awake, but not you. You're here because something inside you refuses to settle. You feel the pull. You hear the calling. You know deep down that the life you want is possible. And it's not waiting out there in the future. It's waiting on what you do right now. This isn't just another day. This is a crossroads. A moment where one brave decision could rewrite everything. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be bold enough to begin. Because one brave step today can change your tomorrow forever. Everything begins the moment you decide to take that one bold step. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. But now. Right here, in the middle of your fear. Right here, while the doubts are still loud. It's right here, while no one is cheering you. On one brave choice can change the entire direction of your life. You don't need a full plan. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need the courage to begin. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It moves for those who move first. That one step won't make you a legend overnight. But it will separate you from everyone still standing still. It will tell the universe, "I'm ready, even if I'm scared." And that energy creates momentum. You're not waiting for the perfect time. You're creating it. You're not waiting to feel strong. You're becoming strong by stepping forward. No one sees the internal war behind that decision, but deep down you know. This is your turning point. The moment you stop letting fear decide your future. The moment you stop replaying the past and start building the next chapter. It's not about being fearless. It's about being brave just once in this moment. Legends are not born with confidence. They build it with every small step they take into the unknown. And this is your small step. The quiet one. The one nobody claps for. The one that feels invisible to the world but unforgettable to your soul. Because this choice, this one brave act, is the first domino. It's what starts the fire. It's what wakes you up from the life you've been settling for. And says, "I'm not here to survive, I'm here to rise." You don't need permission. To begin, you don't need a sign from the sky. This is your sign. This is your permission. This is your time. So take the step. Let the fear come with you, but don't let it lead. The doubt sit beside you, but don't let it hold the wheel. You are stronger than your excuses. You're greater than your past. You are not too late. You are absolutely not too broken. One brave choice. That's all it takes. And years from now, when everything's different, you'll look back at this moment and say, that's when everything changed. Because it all starts with a single brave choice. Maybe no one understands your vision yet. Maybe no one believes in your dream. But you don't need a crowd to begin. You only need your own belief. The belief that your life is still unfolding. It's the belief that your future is worth fighting for. And the belief that no matter how hard it's been, your story isn't over. You've survived storms that others never saw. You've endured nights that nearly broke you. But you're still here. That means something. That means you still have a say in where your life goes next. The world won't hand you your dream, but it will respond to your movement, to your discipline, to your fire. You don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need to begin to become something greater. Progress is built by people who show up when it's uncomfortable, who speak when their voice shakes, who keep going when the odds say stop. And now it's your turn. There's no more waiting for the right mood. No more hoping someone else will rescue. This is your rescue. This is your rebirth. This is the line where your old life ends and your real one begins. Don't wait until you're confident. Move, and confidence will follow. Don't wait for the right conditions. Move, and conditions will shift around you. Don't wait for someone to push you. Be the one who pushes back. You've waited long enough. You've doubted yourself long enough. It's time to rise. It's time to begin. Because everything you've ever wanted starts with this one moment. This one decision. this one brave choice. So the beginning is always the most painful part of the journey. Not because it's the longest, but because it demands the most courage. The first step feels like walking blind through a storm. There's no applause, no roadmap, no certainty, just you and your decision to try. And that is why it matters. More than any other step you will ever take. Because it's not the strength of your legs that moves you forward. It's the strength of your heart. It's the fire inside that whispers, even if I fall, I will rise again. Most people wait for the fear to disappear. But the fear doesn't leave, it follows. You just have to start walking anyway. Because once you move, fear falls behind. Not because it vanished, because it couldn't keep up with your courage. The first step doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees transformation. It says, I am no longer who I was. It marks the line between who you've been and who you're becoming. It's the moment you stop running from pain, and start running toward purpose. You'll shake. You'll doubt yourself. You'll want to quit before you even begin. But that's when you know it's real. Because if it didn't scare you, it wouldn't change you. The greatest breakthroughs always start with trembling hands. The deepest growth always begins with uncertainty. And the most powerful journeys always start in silence, when no one is watching and no one understands. That's what makes the first step so hard. But that's also what makes it holy. It's not about how far you go on day one. It's about having the guts to take day one seriously. The moment you stop saying maybe later and finally say let's go. The moment you stop waiting for life to change, decide to change it yourself. You don't need confidence to begin. You need commitment. You don't need to feel powerful. You need to feel willing to try, willing to fail, willing to learn as you go, because growth is never clean. It's messy, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, but it's worth it, because on the other side of that one small, terrifying move is momentum. And once you have momentum, you become a force. The world can't stop someone who refuses to stop moving, and it all starts with a single step. That one step says more about you than 1,000 perfect plans. It says you're a fighter. It says you're done living small. It says you're ready to break the cycle. People will doubt you, might even doubt yourself, but keep going. Because every legend you admire began with fear too. They were not fearless. They were just willing to move anyway. You don't have to see the finish line. You just have to trust your feet. You don't need 100 answers. You just need one reason to begin. That reason is already inside you. It's the part of you that refuses to settle. It's the part that's tired of waiting. It's the part that knows you're meant for more. So take the step. It's the one that scares you. The one that matters most. It's the one no one else can take for you. This is your moment. This is your shift. This is the beginning of everything new. Every legend you know started as a name nobody remembered. No spotlight, no fame, no special talent, just hunger, just heart, just a burning feeling deep inside that said, I can be more than this. They weren't born unstoppable. They became unstoppable. It all started with one step, not a leap, not a miracle. Just one scared, quiet, unnoticed step. They had doubts, just like you. They had people laugh at them, just like you. They failed again and again. But what made them different is that they kept moving. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't ask for approval. They didn't need someone to believe in them. They believed in themselves first, even when it hurt, even when it made no sense, even when the voices in their head screamed, you're not good enough. They walked anyway. That's how. Legends are born, not in comfort, not in applause, but in quiet rooms, behind closed doors. When no one is looking, and you choose to keep going, you might feel like nobody now. But every somebody once stood in your exact shoes, unknown, unseen, uncelebrated, but not unloved. Because they loved the vision inside them more than the fear outside them. They didn't have more time. They didn't have more support. They just had the guts to begin. Beginning changed everything. Your first step might feel small, but it echoes across the rest of your life. It starts a chain reaction, one that opens doors, one that moves mountains, one that reshapes who you are. Because with each step, you build belief. With each failure, you build fire. And with every comeback, you build character. That's the real power, not how fast you rise, but how hard you refuse to quit. You're not a nobody. You're a future legend in the making. And today, right now, is your chance to prove it. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to be noticed, because legends don't need a stage. To begin, they just need a reason. And your reason is already burning inside you. You've felt it for years. It's the thing that won't let you sleep. It's the thing that keeps pulling at your soul. That dream you've buried under fear. It's still alive. It's still yours. And it's waiting on one thing. You. Not tomorrow, not next year. When things are easier, now, right now. This is your step. This is your story. This is your chance to go from unknown to unforgettable. So move, fall if you must, break if you need to, don't stop. Because the ones who become legends are the ones who take that first brave step. When no one's watching, and keep walking like the whole world is about to know their name. You don't need to see the whole road to start walking. You only need to trust that each step has meaning. Faith doesn't remove the fear. It gives you the strength to move through it. When you take that first step in faith, even when the ground feels shaky, something powerful begins to shift. The road ahead may still be hidden, but your direction becomes clear. Faith is not about being certain. It's about being committed. When certainty is missing, most people wait to feel ready, but those who move with faith create their own readiness. You don't need all the answers. You just need to believe there's a reason to keep going. Sometimes the doors won't open until you walk straight toward them. Sometimes the light won't appear until you step into the dark. When you move with faith, the world begins to respond to your courage. Opportunities rise where doubt once lived. People come into your life who match your energy, not your fear. And you begin to see that the path was never missing. It was just waiting for your movement. Faith is the courage to say, I may not know how, but I trust that I will. It's choosing to keep walking when every voice tells you to quit. It's trusting that every detour is still part of the journey, that even your pain is leading you somewhere important. Some of your greatest breakthroughs will come when you can't see 5 steps ahead, but you take one anyway. Faith is not weak. Faith is the quiet strength that holds you together when everything feels like it's falling apart. It's the decision to rise when nothing around you makes sense. It's the fire that says, I don't know the ending, but I'm not giving up on the story. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be faithful. You don't need perfect conditions. You need powerful conviction. The moment you begin to move with that kind of belief, the path begins to reveal itself. Answers come that you never expected. Help arrives that you never asked for. And strength shows up from a part of you that was waiting to be discovered. The universe responds to bold movement, not to hesitation, not to perfection, but to faith. So don't wait for the entire staircase. Take the first step. Don't wait for the road to be clear. Walk anyway. Don't wait for fear to disappear. Trust anyway. Because when you move with faith, the path doesn't just appear. It begins to rise up to meet you. You're not walking alone. Every step forward is proof that something greater is walking with you. And sometimes, that's all you need to know. You are not lost. You are not late. You are not forgotten. We're exactly where your next step needs you to be. In the moment. You move in faith. The moment you trust the unseen more than the fear you feel, the way forward begins to unfold. Piece by piece, day by day, step by step. So walk with faith, even if your legs shake, even if your voice trembles, even if the path disappears beneath your feet. Because the moment you move with faith, the path finds you. Comfort feels safe, but it slowly steals your future. Convinces you to stay where you are, even when your soul is begging for more. It tells you you're fine, while your dreams silently die inside you. Comfort doesn't care about your growth. It only cares about your convenience. And what's easy, it's rarely what's meaningful. The truth is, nothing great has ever come from a comfort zone. No breakthrough, no transformation, no legacy. Because growth requires pressure. Progress demands discomfort, and purpose lives just beyond what feels easy. The life you want, it's on the other side of pain. It's on the other side of uncertainty. It's in the moments where your heart races, but you move anyway. It's where change is born. Not in silence, not in stillness, but in motion, in risk, in the stretch between who you are and who you could become. Comfort says, stay small. Discomfort says, you're capable of more. Comfort whispers lies like, you've done enough, but your potential screams you've barely scratched the surface. Every time you avoid discomfort, you delay your future. Every time you choose comfort, you choose to stay the same. Change is painful. It's supposed to be. Because becoming something new means letting go of the old, letting go of old habits, old excuses, old identities. It means walking away from what's familiar, even if it once felt safe. But safety doesn't build strength. Struggle does. Comfort is where dreams go to sleep. Discomfort is where they wake up. You won't grow by doing what's easy. You grow by doing what's necessary. And sometimes what's necessary is uncomfortable. The people you admire, they didn't play it safe. They didn't choose the easy road. They chose challenge. They chose discomfort. They chose growth over ease. And that's why their lives look different. If you're serious about change, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to do the things you've been avoiding. You have to face the pain you've been numbing. Because that's where the power is, in the resistance, in the breaking, in the becoming. Don't fear discomfort, respect it. It's not your enemy, it's your trainer. It's the fire that burns away your weakness. It's the pressure that shapes your strength. The silence that forces you to listen to your real voice. Comfort is easy, but easy never changes lives. Hard does. Comfortable does. Risky does. So if your path feels hard right now, good. It means you're changing. It means you're moving. And it means you're alive. It means you're growing into something greater. Comfort will always call you back. It will offer rest. It will offer numbness. But you didn't come this far to stay the same. You came to break cycles, to create something new, to rise. And rising is never comfortable, but it's always worth it. So don't chase comfort. Chase growth. Chase pain if you must. Chase truth even if it hurts. Because comfort is the enemy of change. And change is where your destiny lives. Keep waiting to feel ready, but the truth is, you may never feel ready. Not for the dream. Not for the battle. Not for the weight of who you're becoming. Because readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. A moment where you say, I'm scared, but I'm still going. The world taught you to wait until you're perfect, till you feel strong, till everything is lined up just right. But that moment never comes. There is no perfect time. There is only now. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to move while you're afraid. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to trust that you will learn along the way. Because waiting to feel ready is just fear wearing a mask. And fear doesn't disappear by standing still. It disappears when you walk through it. You're already enough. Not someday. Not after success. Not after the approval. But now. Right here. As you are. Broken pieces and all. Messy, uncertain, and still worthy. Your value doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from who you are and who you've fought to become. You've carried pain no one knows about. You've survived moments that tried to silence you. And still, you're here, still breathing, still searching, still trying. Alone is enough. You don't have to prove yourself to the world. You just have to believe in yourself enough to begin, even if your hands shake, even if your voice breaks, if your confidence is running on empty. What if the version of you today is already powerful enough to start? What if you've had what it takes all along, but fear kept you blind to it? What if waiting is what's been holding you back, not your ability? Readiness doesn't come first, movement does. And when you move, strength shows up. When you speak, your voice finds power. When you try, your heart finds fire. But none of it begins until you stop waiting. You don't need to be polished. You need to be real. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. You don't need 1,000 followers. You just need to follow through. You've already got the scars. You've already faced the storms. You've already done hard things that no one clapped for. And that means you are ready. Not because you feel it, because you've earned it, because you're still standing, because you've got something inside you that refuses to quit. The world will try to convince you to keep preparing forever. But life doesn't reward preparation. It rewards action, rewards the brave, rewards the ones who say, maybe, I'm not ready, but I'm going anyway. That's who you are, not flawless, not fearless, but faithful to the journey. It's willing to show up, willing to grow, willing to rise, even in doubt. So don't wait to feel ready, because you won't. But go anyway. Move anyway. Begin anyway. You are enough right now. That is more than enough to start. The future you want doesn't begin someday. It begins with what you do today. Not with a miracle, not with luck, but with one bold decision. Right now. Every brave step you take today plants the seeds of a life you haven't even imagined yet. It may not look like much at first. It may feel small. It may go unnoticed. But it matters. Because every great life is built one hard choice at a time. There will be a version of you years from now looking back, and they'll remember this day. Not for how perfect it was, but for how brave you were. They'll say, that was the day everything started to change. You don't need to know every step of the journey. You just need to take the one that's in front of you. It's that one uncomfortable move. That one decision to stop waiting. It's that one moment where you decide to stop surviving and start building. It won't be easy. Change never is, but neither is regret. Regret is heavy. Regret is quiet. Regret is the voice that says, you could have done more. If you had just started, the difference between who you are and who you're meant to be, it's in the choice you make today, the choice to be bold, the choice to believe in your future more than your fear, the choice to act even when you're unsure. Get applause for your first step. You might not even get support, but years from now, when your life has changed, you'll know it was worth it. You'll know the pain had a purpose. You'll know the struggle had a reward.
How in the world know?
You to wait, to play it safe, to keep your head down and follow the crowd. But brave people build futures, not by waiting, but by choosing, by risking, by rising even when it hurts. This moment right now, it's more than just another day. It's a decision point, a doorway. It's a chance to become the person your future self will thank you for. Take the step, even if you don't feel ready, even if it scares you, even if no one else understands. Take the step, because your tomorrow depends on it. You're not building for today. You're building for every version of you that's still to come. It's the one who wakes up proud, the one who walks with peace. It's the one who finally sees the reward of the pain you pushed through. Bravery isn't loud, doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's just getting up one more time when everything in you says, stay down. But those moments, they build you. They shape you. They are the foundation of the life you're dreaming about. And years from now, when the world sees your success, you'll know it started here. With this decision. With this step. With this brave moment when you refuse to stay the same. So don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Just begin. Just move. Just take the brave step today, because your future self is waiting to thank you for it. The right moment is not coming. It's not hiding behind next week or next year. It's not waiting for you to be stronger, smarter, or richer. It's waiting for you to decide. The truth is, perfect moments are built, not found. You won't. Wake up one day and suddenly feel like everything is lined up. You won't stumble into your dream life by accident. You will create it with action, with fire, and with fearless choices. People waste years waiting for clarity, but clarity comes from movement. You'll learn by doing. You'll grow by stepping forward, not by standing still. Waiting feels safe, but safety doesn't lead to greatness. Some sit their whole lives waiting for a sign. But the bold ones become the sign for others. They move first. They act before the world agrees with them. They create momentum by refusing to wait for permission. You don't need the stars to align. You need to start building while it's still dark. You don't need the perfect conditions. You need a committed decision. Every right moment you've ever seen from someone's success, started in a season that didn't feel ready. They were scared. They were broke. They were unsure. But they moved anyway. And because they moved, the world moved with them. Because they created the moment, the opportunity came. The doors opened. The resources appeared. The strength followed. The step. Right moments are born from brave movements. If you want something great, you have to stop waiting and start building. No one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to hand it to you. And that's your greatest power. Because it means it's in your hands. This is your time, not because it feels perfect. This is your time because you're still breathing and you still believe. If you're alive, then you're able. If you're willing, then you're ready. The moment you stop waiting for perfect timing, you start writing your future. You take back control. You become the one who moves first. And those who move first are the ones who create a life worth remembering. They don't chase moments, they make them. They take nothing and turn it into something. They take failure and turn it into fuel. You have everything you need to begin. You've got the pain that taught you. You've got the fire that drives you. You've got the voice that still whispers, go. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop standing at the edge of your life, wondering if now is the time. Make now the time. Make this the day you moved without a map. Make this the moment you decided to build, even while afraid. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your next chapter begins. And the moment you choose to act, you don't find. The right moment, you become it. This moment is not random. It's not meaningless. It's not just another day passing by. This moment is a test. It's the kind of test life gives when no one's watching. When the pressure is real, when the excuses sound reasonable, and when quitting would be easy. You've been here before, but this time is different. It's time something inside you is tired of starting over, tired of breaking promises to yourself, tired of shrinking while your dreams keep growing. Is the moment where life asks, do you mean it? Are you serious? Will you rise? Or will you repeat? This is the point where most people give up, where they convince themselves it's not worth it, where they settle, where they stay stuck, and call it fate. But this doesn't have to be the end of your story. This can be the page where everything changes. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Turning points never feel like turning points in the moment. They feel like chaos. They feel like pressure. They feel like silence, confusion, and exhaustion. But years from now, you'll look back and say, that was it. That was the moment I didn't quit. That was the day I showed up for myself. You don't need to pass this test perfectly. You just need to stay in it. Keep showing up. Keep breathing. Through the fear, keep choosing to fight, even when it hurts. Because on the other side of this test is a version of you that only pressure can unlock. A stronger you, a wiser you, a bolder you. This moment is asking you to become that person, to let go of the fear, to let go of the lies, to let go of who you were, so you can rise into who you're meant to be. No one will announce this turning point for you. There won't be fireworks or flashing signs. It will only be a quiet decision made in the dark that changes everything. A decision to keep going. A decision to believe in yourself when no one else does. A decision to trust that this pain has a purpose. Every breakthrough begins with a test, and every transformation starts in silence. This is the test. This is the pressure. But it's also the pivot, because every story has a moment where the hero almost gives up, and then something inside them says, not today, not this time. I'm not leaving my future behind. That voice, it's yours. It's been waiting, and it's louder than the fear. So stand your ground, feel the pressure and move anyway. Feel the fear and take the step anyway. This is your test, but it's also your turning point. What you do now becomes your future. What you decide now becomes your legacy, and what you believe right now will determine who you become next. So breathe, focus, and rise, because this moment is hard, but it's not here to break you. It's here to build you. Legacy isn't something you leave behind. It's something you build moment by moment, choice by choice, day by day. It doesn't begin after you're gone. It begins with how you live right now. It's not written in stone. It's written in how you treat people, in how you show up when it's hard, what you do when no one's watching. Your legacy isn't about money, titles, or fame. It's about the impact you make. It's about the courage you show. It's about the fire you pass on to the next person who needed to see someone like you not give up. Too many people wait to become something before they start living with purpose. But purpose isn't something you arrive at. It's something you choose. You don't need a stage to make a difference. You don't need 1 million followers to matter. You don't need permission to lead. You just need the willingness to. Live like your life has meaning, because it does. Right now, the way you fight, the way you love, the way you rise after falling, it's all shaping your legacy. You're teaching the world how to handle struggle. You are showing others what resilience looks like. You are proving that even in pain, greatness can rise. Someday is too late. One day becomes never. Legacy doesn't wait for your success. It's built through your struggle. The words you speak matter. The promises you keep matter. The moments where you keep going when quitting is easier. Those matter most. Your children might be watching. A stranger might be watching. Most importantly, your future self is watching. That version of you, the one living in peace, power, and purpose, they are rooting for you now. Because everything you do today echoes forward. Every act of bravery, every risk you take, every time you say, "Not today, fear, I'm moving anyway," it's building a legacy you'll be proud of. One day, someone will tell your story. They'll say, "They didn't have it easy, but they didn't back down. They could have quit, but they didn't. They left more than success. They left strength." That begins now, not next year, not when things get easier, not when you finally feel ready. It begins with how you carry yourself today, with how you speak to yourself when no one else hears it, with the way you choose to move, even when the world says stop. You don't have to be perfect to leave a legacy. You just have to be real. You have to be committed. You have to be present. You are not invisible. Your efforts are not wasted. Every day you show up, you are writing a story that someone else will need. This is not just your life. This is your legacy in motion. This is your fingerprint on the world. This is your chance to turn pain into power, action into impact. So stop waiting for the big moment. Live with purpose now. Lead with love now. Rise with courage now. Because your legacy doesn't start someday. It starts right now. Sometimes the loudest battles are the ones no one sees. The moments where you show up with a smile, but inside you're crumbling. The nights you lie awake, wondering if your effort even matters. The days you walk through in silence, carrying dreams too heavy to explain. But here's the truth. The world may not see your struggle, but your breakthrough is still coming. Because strength doesn't come from what people applaud. It comes from the moments you refuse to quit. It's from the times you could have folded but didn't. From the quiet courage of choosing to stand when your legs are shaking. Take through pain is building a future you can't yet see. And someday, that pain will be the part of your story that someone else needs to hear. They won't be inspired by how easy it looked. They'll be inspired by how real it was, how human you were, how you bled and broke and bent, but kept rising anyway. That's the kind of life that creates impact. That's the kind of story that changes lives. You're not falling behind, you're just being refined, molded, shaped into the kind of person who can carry the vision you've been given. Because dreams come with a weight. Not everyone is built to carry them. But you are. You've been through too much to settle now. You've come too far to give up halfway. Everything in your past, the heartbreaks, the failures, the betrayals, it didn't break you. It built you. It trained you for this very moment. You're not behind. You're becoming. You're becoming the version of yourself that's ready to rise, ready to lead, ready to step into the life that's been waiting for your boldness. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to break patterns, to challenge limits, to walk roads others were too afraid to try. And yes, it will be lonely sometimes. Yes, it will hurt. But the price of staying silent is far greater than the cost of walking your truth. Don't betray your gift to fit into rooms that don't deserve your fire. Don't shrink your dream to make others comfortable. Your life isn't meant to be a copy, it's meant to be a spark. One that lights the way for others who've lost sight of what's possible. You don't need permission to shine. You don't need validation to move. You've got something inside you that the world desperately needs, but it can only be seen once you stop hiding. Once you stop editing yourself for approval, once you decide that being real is more important than being liked. That being alive is more important than being accepted. You are here to rise, not to repeat, to lead, not to follow. To begin even when the ending is unclear, and that bravery, that quiet decision to keep going when no one claps. What legends are made of? It's not about how fast you move, it's about how honest your movement is. Right now, your honesty is your greatest strength. Because in a world full of noise, authenticity is power. And when you walk in truth, the right doors find you. The right people find you. The right future finds you. So don't underestimate this season. Don't curse the struggle. Don't despise the stretch. This is the season that shapes you, that matures you, that makes sure the life you're praying for has a version of you strong enough to receive it. That's what this pain is about. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's not delay, it's development. So trust the process. Trust your growth. Trust that every hard thing you're facing is here to make you stronger, not smaller. You weren't meant to survive your dream. You were meant to live it boldly, fully, unapologetically. But that can only happen when you let go of who you used to be. You have to be willing to shed the skin of the past, stop mourning the version of you that outgrew comfort, to stop looking backward for direction. The past taught you, but it can't lead you. Only your next step can. And that step, as small, as scary, as shaky as it may feel, is the most powerful move you can make, because it says you're still in the game, still building, still believing that more is possible. That step, it's your rebellion against fear. It's your refusal to settle. It's your reminder that you still believe in what you can't yet see. And that belief, that faith, that's the seed of every great comeback. So don't wait to feel like a giant. Move while you still feel small. Because giants are built through motion, not through waiting. It's through showing up scared, through speaking up uncertain. It's through walking into rooms where you feel invisible, but staying until you are undeniable. That's how power is earned. That's how presence is formed. That's how a future is built that doesn't just impress, it impacts. Because at the end of the day, success that doesn't serve others is just noise. But success that is born in struggle and used to lift others, that's legacy. That's what lasts. And that's what you're building every time you take a brave step. One that's not just for you, but for every person watching you and wondering if they still have time to become something too. Your life is proof that it's not too late. Your pain is proof that something beautiful is still being written. Progress, even if slow, even if unseen, is still real. And one day, it will all make sense. The waiting, the crying, the questions will all add up to a moment where you look back and realize none of it was wasted. Not a single tear, not a single step. It was all leading you here to your becoming, to the life that's finally aligned with who you really are. And it all started with one brave step. The journey doesn't reward those who plan forever. It rewards those who begin. You don't need another podcast, another course, another reason to delay. You need courage. You need resolve. You need to tell yourself enough waiting, enough wishing. Today, I act. Because every day you wait, your dream fades a little more. Every day you move, your dream begins to breathe again. The clock doesn't pause for your fear. Time won't wait for you to feel ready. But your future, it's still out there, waiting for you to believe enough to chase it. The life you want will never meet you in hesitation. It waits just beyond the moment you decide to move forward while scared. That's where the transformation begins. That's where strength is built in motion. In the moment when you say, I may not have it all together, but I have today. And today, I choose to fight. Some people talk about change their whole lives but never touch it. Others grab it by the throat and bend it into something beautiful. The difference? One brave step. A decision to go forward instead of in circles. A decision to do something now instead of someday. Someday is a lie. Someday is the slow death of dreams, but action.
Action is a
Action builds you while the world is still asleep. And when you stack enough of those days, enough of those brave, quiet victories, the world starts to notice. Not because you asked for attention, but because your results demanded it. That's the power of a single choice made daily. Not once, not when it's convenient, but every day when it's hard, when it's thankless, when it feels like no one cares. You keep showing up anyway, because this is more than a dream. It's your responsibility, your calling, your future in motion. You are not stuck because of your circumstances. You are stuck because of the story you keep telling yourself about what's possible. You've let fear write too many chapters. You've let doubt become too loud in your own mind. But today's your moment to take back the pen, to write a different ending, to say, that may have been who I was, but it's not who I'll remain. You don't need to erase the past. You just need to outgrow it. Every brave step forward is a vote for your future self. Every move you make now becomes the blueprint for who you're becoming. And that version of you, the one you can almost see in the distance, they're not waiting for perfect. They're just waiting for you to stop holding back. You can live your whole life with potential and still die with regret. Because potential, without action, is just a slow motion loss. You're not here to talk about what you could do. You're here to start doing it, to turn that potential into power, to turn that vision into movement. No one's going to hand it to you. No one can take it from you either. Not if you're willing to fight. Not if you're willing to get back up again and again, until life has no choice but to respect your resilience. That's what creates separation, not talent, not luck, relentlessness, discipline, faith, that quiet, stubborn fire that says, I don't know how, but I'm not stopping until I do. Yes, you will fall. You will question yourself. You will have nights where the pressure feels unbearable and mornings where it's hard to rise. But you'll rise anyway, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because deep down you know you weren't born to be ordinary. You weren't made to live stuck. There's something in you, something fierce, something holy that's tired of standing still. That voice inside that's been whispering all along. There's more. That voice, that's the real you. And it's time you started listening. You don't need anyone else to see the vision. You just need to be loyal to it. Loyal in the dark. Loyal in the doubt. Loyal even when you feel like giving up. Because the dream that wakes you up at night, the one that keeps knocking when everything else goes silent, that dream chose you. And it won't leave you until you'll either give up on it or you'll build it. So build it, inch by inch. Step by step, no shortcuts, no surrender. Just a quiet decision every day that says, this matters. I matter. My future matters. And the more you build, the more the world shifts in your favor. Not immediately, not magically, but inevitably. Its momentum is undefeated. Because movement, when done with heart, becomes a force nothing can stop, and one day, maybe sooner than you think, it'll all click. The pain will make sense. Now the pressure will feel worth it. The long nights will become stories of how you didn't give up. And when people ask how you did it, you'll smile. You won't say it was easy. You'll say it started with one decision. One moment of courage, one brave step that changed everything. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Step by step, word by word. If this message lit even the smallest fire in your heart, don't let it die. Share it. Live it. And remember, one brave step today can change everything tomorrow.